mat. So we are starting something new today. Obviously, if you're doing this later on a playlist, you're starting something new today, or maybe you just stumbled on this video because you want to master crow pose. But we're going to be doing a pose mastery series together, kind of going back to my roots as a yogi. I miss some of the more educational parts of the practice where we take a pose and we break it down into its parts, and then we try it at the end, because here's why I love this so much. You are so much more successful in that pose if you build up to it. Now there's always a theme and an idea behind all my classes, but lately I've really been focused on just kind of looking at the body and what we need to just counteract our daily posture. And honestly, maybe this is just personal, I kind of missed the pose mastery classes. So we're going to be doing a whole series on pose mastery. Today's pose is crow pose. You don't have to know what that is right now. I put a picture of it in our thumbnail, so you know what it is. But if you don't know what it is, it's fine. Also, you don't ever have to be able to do the pose that we're mastering today. I'm going to do a whole practice leading up to it. This is a 30-minute class, just kind of a regular yoga class. And we're going to be doing things that a lot of bodies can do. If there's something that you're not really sure if there's a way to do it, listen for some options and then just jump in where you can. If this isn't the practice for you, I have a lot of practices on my channel. Just go look under the yoga and the Yoga for All Bodies playlists and you'll be able to find something for you. There's all kinds of playlists out there. And if those two somehow are missing by the time you find this video, look through the playlist and you will find something that resonates with you. So let's get started. We are going to be down on the mat. If you've never met before, my name is Gretchen, and I've been teaching yoga for quite a while, both live and in person. And if you want to work out with me more, and you might be undecided, so you might be waiting until the end. But if getting live workouts and workout replays is kind of your jam, subscribe to the channel. I try to schedule my lives in advance so that you can sign up to get notified when I go live. And my goal is to provide a workout every Wednesday. Times can change, but Workout Wednesday is kind of our thing that we do together. You can always catch the replay. All right, let's start on our back. And you'll notice we don't have any music on today. You're welcome to find your own playlist, put it on in the background, or to just like spend a moment listening and learning. We're gonna start just reaching our arms overhead, stretching our legs as far as we can, kind of opening the front of the body. Crow is a very closed off pose to the front body. So we are going to do some things that counter the posture too. That's always really important. We're going to start with just a knees to chest flow. So we inhale, arms reach. Exhale, pull one knee into our chest, hug it in as tight as we can, and inhale, reach. Exhale, other arm, hug and reach. Just a few more times, hug and reach. Notice that the head is staying down right now. We're focusing on the hamstrings, the hips, dynamically stretching and opening up the muscles in the leg. They're going to be used later on in a stretching way. That's probably the right way to say it. A few more times. Hug. And then we're just going to hug our right knee into our chest with our right hand. Looks like this. Hug here. Left hand can just go wherever out to the side. Hugging tight, we're going to roll that leg in the hip socket. A few circles, waking up the hip joint, getting all that synovial fluid flowing, moving. You might hear some creeps and pops. That's a-okay. Nothing's wrong with creeping. Well, maybe creeping. Nothing's wrong with creaking and popping. That's just your body and how it goes to work. Switching sides, or direction rather, making some circles. Imagine that femur like dropping into the hip socket. Try to relax everything in your leg and just stir that ball and socket joint. Good. And then from here, we open the leg out and hand it off, cross it across. Again, open it out, hand it off, cross it across. 2 more of those. Opening out, crossing it across, Last time, really waking up the hips today. It's important for crow pose, crossing it across. Good, now half happy baby pose. Let me show you how we're gonna go into this. Flatten the foot out and then start by just holding on with both hands right behind that leg. Let me get a sideways a little bit so you can see what's going on. You can bend the foot too. Holding on with both hands, pull the knee into your chest, flatten the foot. That's like the first place we go. You can extend the leg too. The second place we might go would be to climb up with the right hand and just holding the top of that foot. Start to pull it down into the shoulder, what is this called? It's called an armpit. Hi, Gretchen. The next place would be peace sign fingers, right here in between the big and second toe, pulling that leg down into the armpit. We learned a new word, didn't we? No, I just figured out what the word was. Beautiful. Half happy baby. Again, this foot can be bent if that's a little bit much for your hamstrings right now. Good. Placing this leg down on the ground. Go back to that knees to chest flow. We're going to add the upper body. So as we curl in, we're actually going to curl in, hug, try to pull the head as close to our knee as we can, and release. Exhale, hug, head as close to our knee as we can, and release. Good. Scoop the belly, pulling the belly in like we're digging it out as we come up. I'll tell you what, this starts to build some heat if we're hugging as tight as we can. Like I can feel my face getting warm. It's probably that internal organ ringing out that we're getting. Sometimes we forget about all those benefits of yoga. One more curl. Lower down. I'm going to go sideways just so you can see a little bit since it's the side away from you. I'm going to hold my left knee into my chest with my left hand. And I'm going to make some circles, just like we did on the other side. Perfect. So again, you're probably noticing by now that this is not an advanced yoga practice. It might be intermediate because you have to have a little bit of background probably. Maybe not in yoga, but just in moving the body, just to be a little body aware, switch direction. But there are options for a lot of people in here. We don't jump right into crow pose. We make it a really full body practice with a particular focus, building into crow pose. If you didn't already, make sure you switch directions. And then let's do the crossover. So we're going to open it out to the side first, pulling the leg open, crossing it, handing off to the other side. Now you can kind of see what's happening there. Good. Pull it back open. Oh, we got a little stuck on that side. Cross it over. Two more. Opening the leg. Crossing it over. Last time, opening the leg. And crossing it over. All right, now for some fun. We're going to do a little half boat pose. So this might start to build heat. With your legs extended and your hand behind your head, right? Curl the head up a little bit, holding on like the bottom, the nape of the neck, thinking about looking down the body with the eyes, not tucking the chin as much, but looking down the body with the eyes, zip the belly, and then pull the legs up. It's okay to be a little shaky, just holding in half boat here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, waking up the abdominal muscles. Tuck the knees, drop to the side, push yourselves up. We're moving on to all fours. How are you liking it so far? Hopefully you are. You can give a little thumbs up at the end of this if you're too far away from your screen. If you're close, you can do it now. Hands right below shoulders. I like to know what you guys are liking and what you're not liking, so it helps when this got a little timestamp. When you're ready, tuck the chin to chest, arch up to the sky for cat. Inhale, drop the belly to cow. Let's make this our breathing practice part of practice today. Breathing practice part of practice, a little weird. Inhale, belly drops. Fill the belly up with air. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin to chest, scoop the belly as tight as you can. Make it through the nose if you can. Inhale and exhale. Good. Feeling the breath in the back of the throat. Again, inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale. Find neutral. Neutral, ears, shoulders, hips in line. Tuck the toes. Zip the belly, hover the knees. So they're just hovering above the mat. Why did I wear all black? I always do that. I mean, that's just kind of my go-to, but it does make it hard to see what I'm doing, doesn't it? I will work on that for you. Lifting the knees a little bit, we're hovering. Beautiful. I'm gonna face you for just a second so you can see where I'm going. From here, pick a leg, doesn't matter which, walk it forward, hands on the thigh, lean into it. Let me tell you something, let me dispel a myth. It is okay, let me go this way. It is okay for the knee to go beyond the toe, right? I could talk all day about the research and things that have been disproven, but you want to keep it in line with the toe, and ideally the hip as well. Keep it in line and keep the heel down. So you're gonna lean into this crescent lunge. You don't have to go over the toe, but if you do, it's not a big deal. Leaning into this crescent lunge, feeling the hip stretch again. Beautiful. The inside arm reaches up to the sky and then leans over to the side. Huge stretch on the side of the body. Breathing, breathing. This is called our crescent lunge. Coming back to center. Pressing back, let's switch sides. Good. Other leg forward. Sliding into our kneeling lunge. So again, kind of check everything. And this is kind of a fun time to get in front of a mirror maybe someday. You don't have to be there right now. But checking and making sure we've got this nice solid line and we're not like in here. See how the hip is way outside the knee? Or out here, see how the hip is inside the knee? But we're really, and you can even look down and kind of imagine, again, that hip joint, that femur, everything all in line, sliding forward, knees will be much happier. So reaching up, big breath, crescent lunge, taking it over the side of the body. If you've been on this channel for a while and joining me in the live, it's been a hot minute since I've been in my studio, which is obviously my garage. But I love this place. I love working out right here. It's got everything I need. Sliding back in, coming together. We're gonna go back into that kneeling position, but I want you to flip your wrists. So hands wide, get as starfishy as you can. Down, pressing the heels of the hands to the ground, and then arching up into cat. Tucking that chin again, tucking the belly. Remember, this is not a hyperextension, so don't try to straighten the arms as much as you can, especially if you know that you're hypermobile or double jointed, right? Don't try to straighten elbows as much as you can. Just try to press through the heels of your hand and zip the belly. Good, just waking the wrists up a little bit. Let's bring the hands forward. We're only going to do this one wrist at a time. Take your palm up and just without putting all your weight into one hand is going to be in. So most of my weight is in this down hand. Let me see it. There we go. So we're here, just stretching the forearm a little bit. Good. You don't have to be here for very long. Again, countering the pose. Other side. Tucking the hand in. Checking our time. I can get carried away with teaching. If you've ever been one of my students, you know that. But I love it so much. Perfect. When you're ready, opening the knees a little bit, sitting back to child's pose. Arms reach out. Head can be down on the mat, wherever you want. Breathing. Now it's important here that we do open the knees. Sometimes I don't focus on that, but feet are close. See back there, they're close. Knees are wide, and we're dropping our belly in between. Keep breathing, stay there. The reason that we do this is because this is the kind of tight position that you want those the hips to be in, right? That tight hinge, and hopefully knees. So this pose, not so much as the restorative aspects of child's that it normally is, but also the joint, kind of testing our joints. Where are we today? And this is just a today thing, not a forever thing. So testing, bring yourself up from chaturanga, sliding them forward, hands forward into a kneeling plank, zipping the belly. From here, toes down, knees down, knees, chest, chin, toes touch, chest touch, chin touches, dropping, pushing the hips, lifting into a baby back bend here. You can go as high or as low as you want. Exhale, child's pose again. Let's do that a few times. Inhale, plank, knees, chest, chin, back bend, and child. Now I just want you to continue this little flow. Doesn't have to be fast. And then start to decide where you're going to challenge yourself. The first place you would choose would be a full plank. Lifting up with the knees, holding plank, and then you might drop the knees, slide through the arms, back bend, and child's. The next place would actually be full chaturanga. So plank, shift forward, hover for a second, then take the back bend of your choice, and child's pose. The back bend of your choice is not going to change because that could be a lot of things, right? It might be a baby cobra, full cobra, upward facing dog. Also, child is not going to change for now. Let's do one more time through. Try to challenge yourself to that chaturanga. It's going to help prep the body. Back one last time to child's pose. Beautiful. It's hard to hear me in child's pose, so you don't have to sit up when I sit up, but it helps me talk. So you stay down in child's. You can just listen. From here, we're moving into a downward facing dog. Again, another pose that's hard for me to talk to the camera in. Let me get my lavalier mic set up. Tucking the toes, pressing back. Downward facing dog, and let's just walk it out. Walk it out. Walk. You know I can't just say walk it out and not sing it a little bit. Heel down, bend the opposite knee. Side to side. Perfect, perfect. Good. Lifting the right leg. High or low, however you want to move. From here, exhale, I want you to bring the knee in as close as you can to touch the triceps. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee comes in. We're doing this 4 times. Last time. Tuck, and then let's put the foot down. Wow, why was it way back there? Help it out forward if you want to. I got more involved in the knee to tricep thing. From here, we're in a full lunge, hands straddling the legs. When you're ready, straighten as much as you can to a straight leg lunge. Now, if you want, you can drop the knee and straighten out the front leg as much as you can. That is an option. Straight leg lunge. Bending the front knee. We've got our left hand down to the mat, right hand to thigh, twist into the lunge. Let me see if I can face you for this one, or at least sideways. Oh yeah, I'll go sideways here. So we're twisting into the lunge. Let me figure out, oh, my joint's creaking. I think I've got a better way to do this for y'all. Okay, good, because we're about to go somewhere else. Lowering the back knee, front foot goes heel, toe, heel, line it up, hands come inside, and you just start to bend the elbows. So we're in lizard lunge. So bottom line is, this front leg is outside the arms, and you're lowering down as much as you can, right? As much as you need to heel toe out. I just kind of picked mine. If you want, you can lift the back leg, kind of maintaining lizard here. You don't have to. Breathing, breathing. You can tell we're starting to get to the little bit more challenging portions. There's a lot more to think about, a lot more options. When you're ready, stepping this leg back, downward facing dog. I'm gonna switch sides. If you need child's pose for a minute, take it for just a second. We'll meet back in down dog. just so you can see here. When you're ready, down dog with the left leg up. High or low. Big inhale. As you exhale, knee to triceps. Inhale. Kick it through. Exhale. Knee to triceps. Inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale, bring the foot through. That worked better. To a lunge. Good. Nice. Full lunge. Moving slowly into a straight leg lunge. Nice. So again, if you want, just tap the back leg down. Try to straighten the leg, getting hamstring stretched. Or both legs here in the straight leg lunge. Big breaths. Shifting down. Right hand down or a fist for wrist, that works too. Twisting the lunge, option to drop the back knee. Finding that twist. And then lowering, heel toeing that foot out, hands to the center, dropping the elbows for lizard. Leg can stay straight or down. This is absolutely your choice. Knowing that the more we kind of challenge ourselves in these poses, the easier that crow will be. Straightening the leg here. Awesome. Now instead of stepping back to down dog, I want you to step in to a forward bend. Okay, just a forward bend here, letting the head hang. I'm gonna grab something just to give you an idea of what you can do here. Okay, perfect. Bring yourself up to standing when you're ready. Now we're moving into goddess pose. I told you most of it was centered on the mat here. And this is where we take the leap, maybe, kind of sort of, into crow pose. Don't go ahead of me. That's the only thing, because we're not doing like goddess crow right now. So please take it a step at a time. Know that you will be most successful if you do. Goddess pose has some options. You can just feet flat, drop into it, hands here, bam, goddess pose. If that works for you. If you don't, I have a little ledge right here. So to be honest, I could just cheat with this. It's not cheating, I would just want him to set up a blanket. But you can also set up a blanket, a towel, anything that can be thick and wide enough for your legs. So to be honest, that wouldn't be wide enough for my legs. That might be. And then you put your heels only on it and then drop into goddess, and it gives your hips a huge break. And you can go straight into crow pose from this position. So find your goddess position. If that's a lot for the hips, stop here, but try to get low. Try to get the elbows to the inner thighs. Because it's the best option? No, but because it leads to crow. So if you want to just hang out in a wide squat, that's okay. But know that crow might not be in your practice today. I'm giving you ways to get to crow, not necessarily just to get a squat in. So pressing elbows to thighs, press out as much as you can. Now take the knees and push them against your triceps as much as you can so that you've got this engagement all the way through. Cool? Good. Bring it back down. Flipping the wrist. I'm sorry. What in the world did I do? Here we go. Flipping the wrist for a cat again. Rounding up. Little break. Sitting back for a moment. So when we go into crow, that same connection should be there that we found triceps and inner thighs. If you happen to be able to do this skin to skin, it might be easier. So just know that sometimes your clothes could be getting in the way of this pose. I'm going to the side, Sitting back, again into goddess pose. Taking the hands, bringing them as a reach out in front. Not right in here. As a reach out in front. Hands down. Getting on the tippy toes, touching the knees to triceps, and sitting back down into goddess. Yes, that's the flow. Tap far. Lift, touch as close to your armpits as you can. I'm not getting real close today, that's okay. 2 more. Hands down, push. Last one, hands down, push. Sit, bring the knees in. Sit back, take a break. Shake the wrists out or give the wrists a little stretch, however you want to do it. Back into it a little bit. Not quite crow yet. I know some of you guys I know are chomping at the bit, and I wouldn't even know if you did crow, so joke's on me, right? Coming back, we're gonna start in that reached out pose, lift on the toes, and I want you to bring the knees in, bend the elbows, shift so that there's weight on the arms. Just lift your right foot. Just lift the right foot and hold. Zip everything, push, 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 zip. Down. Crouch. I'm not in full goddess, I'm like in, I don't know, crow prep. Same thing, shift, put the knees on, lift just the left, lift, zip, zip, tight, push, 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 arms and legs together, and sit back. Now whatever you do, don't jump. You can bring this out to the front. Last thing we need to talk about, so take a little break. When you go into crow, I know you really want to see what's going on behind you just because that's where all the action is. Look at the front of your mat. The reason I say this is, when you teach someone how to do a front roll, what do you say? Look at your belly button, because it's gonna, your butt follows the direction that your head wants it to go, right? If you're turning your head, you're telling your whole body you want it to flip over. So if you look forward, you're not gonna do the fall forward thing. You'll fall back on your bottom, okay? But if you want some kind of crash landing pad there, that's fine. Hands out, get back to that crow prep. Get your knees as high as you can. Push, 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 engage. Lifting one or both at the same time. Always lift one at a time. You can find full crow, look out. Now think about pushing those knees into the thighs, zipping the belly, holding tight, hold, 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 and lower down. Are you breathing the whole time? I don't think I was breathing appropriately. We're gonna try it one more time. How much time do we have left? Oh, perfect. Okay. Last time, knees to thighs. Look. Now I just want you to focus on breathing. Why is that distracting for me right now? There we go. And sitting out it. How beautiful. Now I did this for one of my yoga classes this past semester, which was spring of 23 at A&M. There's a place you can go if you're ready to just party trick it. Now that's what I call when like, okay, there's not really a health benefit to doing this next piece, but if you just want to elevate your practice, sometimes stuff is just fun, right? Is there a health benefit to a back handspring? Maybe, probably not, but sometimes it's fun to do, right? So let me show you something kind of fun. You can get into crow. By the way, I normally come into it from a little bit higher up, so that might work for you too. You can come into crow and then shoot your legs out into Chaturanga Dandasana. So here, bam, catch yourself, drop, lift, and child's. You're welcome to try it. You're welcome to never try it. Sit back in child's pose. Breathe, breathe. Feel everything slow down a little bit. We are nearing the end of our practice. So if you're ready, You can find just a seated pose, nice and tall, sitting tall, letting the eyes close, breathing. And I want you to think back to a part of the practice where you were proud of yourself. It might not be the mastery pose. And that's important to remember in this series. Your proudest moment might not have been the mastery pose. You might have learned another new pose or done something new for your body or felt something you haven't felt before that made you feel really proud of yourself. But I want that to be your focus as you breathe. Pull that feeling back into your heart. Sometimes what happens when there's a mastery pose class is we pin all of our hopes and dreams on that one pose, right? And we forget that it was a journey, which isn't that a great way of looking just at life in general? We pin all of our hopes and dreams on the goal and we forget to look back. Sometimes when I'm in the middle of a journey somewhere and I have this goal, I started way back here, I'm about halfway through and I'm feeling defeated. And the best advice that I get from several people in my life, I try to surround myself with people that are going to give me this kind of encouragement as well as this kind of like prodding to go get it. They say, but look at where you are now compared to where you started, right? Meaning, you have done so much to be proud of. Yes, there's still goals, there's still ambitions, there's places to go, but look at where you are right now. So taking this not only from the class today, but for the rest of the week, the month, the year, your life, look at where you've come, right? Keep your eye on your vision, on your goals, but look at where you've come and don't ever forget that, all right? If you were here with me live, please let me know if you like this. If there's a certain pose that you'd like to see mastery of, I would love to hear it. I have kind of set out like an idea of the poses that we're gonna do, but I'm open to switching it out. So if there's a pose you wanna learn, let me know. If you like this, please let me know. If you didn't like this, please let me know. Constructive criticism, always good. Talk to me down in the comments. And then also subscribe to this channel so that you get notified when we're going live so that we can stay working out together as long as we can. Lifetime fitness, lifetime activity, and lifetime wellness, you guys. All right, thanks for being here.